welcome to Vital Biology. This is Padma. In this class, we will learn about various branches of invertebrate zoology. Do you know malacology, conchology, or carcinology? So here we learn all these various branches related to invertebrates. And let's start with our first branch, that is protozoology. So study of protozoans. Study of protozoans is called as protozoology. So protozoans are the organisms which are provided with just one cell. These are single-celled organisms and those should be eukaryotic cells. Eukaryotic means they should have a distinct nucleus. Such organisms are called as, yes, definitely protozoans like Euglena, Paramecium. Like these organisms comes under this type of protozoans. So, study of protozoans is called as protozoology. Next branch is parazoology. Parazoology. So, parazoology means study of sponges. Okay, sponges. So, sponges means nothing but the group which we said Porifera, the pore-bearing organisms which are commonly called as sponges. So, such sponges study is called as parazoology because actually these poriferans are multicellular organisms. Okay, so these are multicellular organisms but they lack tissues. Tissues are absent. Such multicellular organisms are categorized as parazoa group. Okay, parazoa means multicellular but they are lack with tissues. The tissues are absent, such group of organisms. So that group is called as parazoa, in which yes, sponges are included. So that's why the study of sponges or poriferans is actually called as parazoology. So next branch is nidology. Study of cnidarians is called as nidology. Okay, study of cnidarians. Cnidarians means, yes, like hydra, sea anemone, okay, hydra, jellyfish, such type of the cnidarians are actually comes under this group, and when we will study in detail about such group of organisms, that is called as nidology. Okay, study of cnidarians is called as nidology. The next fourth branch is cnidariology. Okay, cnidariology. Cnidariology means the study of corals. Okay, study of corals. As we know that in case of cnidaria, the organisms exhibit one of interesting character, that is metagenesis, which is nothing but alternation of generation. They exhibit two different morphological structures in their life cycle. One is the sedentary polypoid stage and another one is that is of the free swimming medusoid stage. And as we know that the polyps which are sedentary, that which they cannot move, those organisms for their protection they just secrete one of a calcareous exoskeleton. So that calcareous exoskeleton of these polypoid forms is actually called as corals. So such corals study is called as cnidariology. Okay, so both the terms look similar but difference we can observe. This is just nidology. Study of cnidarians is called as nidology, whereas a study of corals is called as cnidariology. Okay, so that is about these two branches. Going towards the helminthology. Okay, helminthology. So helminthology is study of helminths. Helminths means both the groups will come. That is Platyhelminthes and Nematohelminthes. That is of Nematoda or otherwise Helminthes. Both these groups are actually comes under this particular helminths. These together called as actually helminths. Helminths means nothing but the parasitic worms. As already earlier we have studied that majority of these helminths are act as parasites. So that's why here they told the parasitic worms, or otherwise helminthology means study of just the helminth organisms. So helminth organisms means both here we are talking, that is of Platyhelminthes, which are flat worms, and the Nematohelminthes, which are of round worms. Okay, like Tinea solium, or otherwise Fasciola, that is of sheep liver fluke, which we gave an example for the Platyhelminthes. Whereas Nematoda or Aschelminthes, like Ascaris. Okay, so like these group of organisms are these organisms, that is of helminth organisms, when we will study, such a branch is called as the helminthology. So next branch is the nematology. So here we are separating the nematodes from these helminths. Okay, separately when we will study about the nematodes. Nematodes means here just the round worms. Okay, just the round worms like Ascaris, or otherwise Eukaryaria, that is a filarial worm. Okay, so such a round worms only we will study in this particular group, that is of the nematology. Okay, when we will study Platyhelminthes and Nematohelminthes together, that group is called as a helminthology. But when we study only the roundworms, only the nematodes, then that branch is called as the nematology. Going towards some other branches which are related to here, that is arthropods. See here, arthropodology. Okay, arthropodology, nothing but study of arthropods. Already earlier we have studied various invertebrates phyla, in which one is the Arthropoda. So Arthropoda generally includes various organisms like various insects, millipedes, centipedes, crustaceans, spiders, scorpions, ticks, mites. So all these various group of organisms, all these various organisms are comes under these arthropods. So when we will collectively study about all these animals, then that branch is called as the arthropodology. Okay, yes. Next is apiology. So apiology means study of bees, like honeybees. Okay, such a branch is called as the apiology. Like for example, the honeybee, the commonly used honeybee, that is for the apiculture purposes, that is of Apis indica. Okay, so like that here apiology, so that is of study of bees, is called apiology. And entomology. So entomology, if we study only the insects, okay, only insects. Insects means which are provided with 3 pairs of legs. That is why, yes, in the earlier class also we said these insects are also called as hexapoda. Okay, hexa means 6, poda means legs. So 6 legs, or otherwise 3 pairs of legs. Those organisms, those insects, when we will study about only those insects, yes, such a branch is called as the entomology. So entomology is the study of insects. Next, acarology. Okay, acarology. So study of ticks and mites. Study of ticks and mites. So mites means like scabies mite, okay, or otherwise dust mite, itch mites. So such type of these mites, and as well as the ticks. Generally these act as ectoparasites in majority of the vertebrate animals. So such type of the ticks and as well as the mites, when we will study about them, such a group is called as the, such a branch is called as the acarology. The next branch is the carcinology. Okay, carcinology, carcinus. So carcinus is actually nothing but a crab. So when we study about the crustacean group, okay, crustacea is one of a subgroup under Arthropoda, and crustaceans generally include like one is the crabs, or otherwise even the lobsters, shrimps. So such a crustacean study is called as nothing but the carcinology. Okay, or otherwise another one more word also we can use, that is of the crustaceology. Okay, generally when we will include crabs, lobsters, shrimps, yes, generally we will use this word, that is of crustaceology. But suppose if we will use only study of crabs, yes, then definitely we can use this particular word, that is of carcinology. So next, here the word that is malacology. So malacology is nothing but study of mollusks is called as malacology. Molluscans, like here we have studied like the gastropods, like phyla globosa, which is commonly called as apple snail, and like Pelicipoda, okay, in which oysters are included, okay, or otherwise the dentalium, the tooth shell. So like this, all these organisms are included when we will study, okay, then such a branch is called as a malacology. The shelled organisms study is called as malacology, okay, study of molluscans, and molluscans means generally we will say shelled organisms, okay. So shelled organisms or otherwise the study of molluscans is called as malacology. Suppose if we will just study about the shell of these organisms, okay, shelled organism study is called as the malacology. But here now we are focusing only on the shell of those organisms. So that's why here we said study of molluscan shells is called as conchology, okay. Molluscan shells when we will study, then such a branch is called as conchology, okay. So the next one is the echinology. Echinology. Echinology means study of nothing but echinoderms, okay. Echinodermata. As we know that echinodermata, the group which includes the spiny skinned organisms, okay, like starfishes, even the sea cucumbers, sea urchins, okay. So all these organisms when we will study, such a branch is called as echinology. So echinology is nothing but study of echinoderms, okay. So these are the few terms or the few branches related to these invertebrates, okay. So once again we'll see the quick revision of these particular terms. See here, protozoology, study of protozoans is called as protozoology. Parazoology, study of sponges or the poriferans is called as parazoology. Study of cnidarians is called as cnidology. Whereas the study of polyp stages, only polyp, the exoskeletons, that is of corals, that study is called as the cnidariology. Study of Platyhelminthes and Nematohelminthes together is called as helminthology, study of helminths. Whereas if we will study only about the roundworms, that is nematodes, study of nematodes is called as the nematology. Then study of arthropods is arthropodology. Yes, I think we forgot this particular branch, that is of lepidopterology. Yes, lepidopterology, where we study about the butterflies and as well as the moths, okay, butterflies and moths. Generally these butterflies and moths, they somewhat look similar, but butterflies generally they are more colorful when compared to these moths. So when we will study these, then such a branch is called as the lepidopterology. And study of bees is called as apiology, study of insects is entomology, and when we will study the ticks and mites which act as the ectoparasites, so this one comes under the acarology. And carcinology, that is of the crustaceans, whereas the study of crustaceans is when we will study the crustaceans, yes, we can say crustaceology. Then only we'll talk about the crabs, yes, then we can say as the carcinology, okay. I think we can also add one more branch also, that is arachnology. Arachnology. So arachnoids means the study of spiders and scorpions, okay, study of spiders and scorpions, yes, we can call it as arachnology, okay. Next is malacology, study of mollusks, whereas the conchology, that is of a molluscan shell study, whereas echinology, that is study of echinoderms. So that is about various branches of invertebrate zoology.